Hey y'all, welcome back to Voices of the Body, the podcast. My name is Love Ashley Elaine, and we are at our last episode for season 2. Yes, this was a challenge, but we did it. We did it. This episode, we're tapping into a recording that I did with who was our first guest of the first episode of this season, Miss Leanne Kensler from Australia. After we recorded that episode, we did a timeline therapy session, and it was pretty cool. And I think it's timely now to circle it right back to that episode and just really allowing us to dig deep into where that self-doubt comes from, right? Where is that I'm not enough coming from? So prepare your mind, body, and soul as we tap into this episode. So, Miss Leanne, thank you again for timeline therapy.
Yeah, I'm excited to do this with you.
Me too. So first, I know we talked about like doing a certain, I guess, type of timeline therapy. And we said we were doing Not Good Enough.
Yes. So we're going to be working on the belief system, I'm not good enough, which is something that most of us have at different points in our life to varying degrees. Some people live in that belief system. Other people, it surfaces every now and again. I still have it pop up every now and again, and then I have to check myself, or my husband checks for me and says, "What are you talking about?" And because it's a very old record that I played for many, many years, and even though I've worked on it and it's nowhere near as bad as what it used to, it still surfaces every now and again. So it's really beautiful to work on because it can, that belief system can stop you from doing things that you want to do, particularly in career or relationship with your kids, whatever it might be.
Yeah, which is very on time, right? One, starting the new year and moving into entrepreneurship, full-time entrepreneurship for myself. There's like something keeps trying to bubble up. This is, what are you doing? This isn't what you're supposed to be doing. This isn't you. And I'm just like, yes, I am, like trying to stuff it back down. Especially with, I just got my first client, my first contract as an independent contractor working, doing a professional development course that I created with the Early Childhood Center. And as I'm, working on everything, like their stuff in my PowerPoint and what I'm going to be doing, like imposter syndrome keeps trying to come up, right? Where it's like, oh, like, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, yes, I do. Like, as I'm trying to stuff it down and get it to move away. So I think this is very appropriate, to get people to see, and even myself, to see where is that root still coming from? Why is that soil still embedded in us, no matter how many affirmations we say and how much we believe in ourselves, right? There's still that little ounce of doubt that tries to creep up.
Yeah, definitely. So first of all, congratulations on your new contract. That's awesome.
Thank you.
And the reason that we have these belief systems is because somewhere in our past, whether it be our childhood, our past life, or our generational stuff, trauma, our unconscious mind took us to a place where it was going to protect ourselves, protect us. So it would say, oh, don't put yourself out there because you're going to get hurt. Don't do that because someone will laugh at you. You can't do that because X, Y, and Z will happen, and it's always a bad happen. And maybe that happened, and it could be that, you know, we were 5 years old and we started kindergarten and we were scared and there was too many people, and then we had a belief system that I don't do crowds. Simple as that.
Yeah.
You know, so it can be a very simple thing that then leads to our inner child being in control of us, and things go pear-shaped then, because we're not acting from our adult being present. We're acting from that inner child who just wants to protect you under any circumstances. And so you can tell yourself, I'm good enough, as often as you like. If there's something deep down inside of you that still doesn't believe it and feels unsafe, it's not going to work.
Yeah, so true, so true. Wow, yeah. All right, let's get started. Whew.
Okay, Ashley. So first of all, take in a nice deep breath. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions that you consciously won't know the answer to.
Okay.
So I want you to just answer with the very first thing that pops up, even if it makes absolutely no sense to you, or if it feels really weird, or whatever. If your unconscious mind is giving you a word or an answer, then that's the right word. So it's really about trusting in your inner self at this point. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Beautiful. So first of all, Ashley, is it okay today for you to work on the belief system, I'm not good enough, for you to be consciously aware of it, and for you to gather all the positive learnings from that experience?
Yes.
Thank you. And if you were to know, did the root cause occur before, during, or after your birth?
Before.
And if you were to know, was it in the womb, past life, or generational?
Generational.
And if you were to know, how many generations?
7.
Beautiful. Thank you. Now I just want you to imagine that you are floating up. Taking a lovely deep breath as you imagine that you're floating up, just like a feather in the breeze, or floating like the sounds of water floating. And as you're imagining that you're floating up higher and higher, you may notice that your body becomes calmer and calmer. And then floating all the way back in time to just after 7 generations ago, when you first decided, I'm not good enough. Floating all the way back in time. And when you have a sense that you're there, just let me know. See it going all the way back in time. And you'll know when you're there, you'll either have a bit of a visual of something, or something in your unconscious mind will just say, I think I'm there now.
There.
Beautiful, thank you. And now floating up even higher, floating up higher and higher. So you're floating up directly above the event, and you're looking down at the event as if you're looking at it on a TV screen, and you're not in the event. And as you're looking down at the event, that deeper, wiser part of you will allow you to gather all the positive learnings that you need today, that will allow you to easily and effortlessly release this belief system, I'm not good enough. And all of these learnings will be preserved for you today and for your future. I just want to check in with you before we go any further and just ask you, how are you feeling right now?
Light.
Beautiful. That's perfect. We don't want you to be feeling any sort of emotion, just nice and relaxed as you're looking down. So as you're looking down, what is it that you need to learn about this event today that will allow you to release that belief system?
Where it came from.
Yeah, beautiful. And what is it that you need to learn about where it came from?
Who put it there?
Yeah. And who is it that put it there?
Other people.
Yeah. So if other people put that belief system there, what does that mean for you?
It's not true.
Beautiful. And what else?
It doesn't belong to us.
Yeah. When you say us, what do you mean?
My lineage.
Mm. Do you mind reframing that so that it refers directly to you?
It doesn't belong to me.
Thank you. Anything else?
Mm-mm.
Beautiful. How are you feeling right now?
Super light.
Beautiful. So just floating down now, taking these learnings with you, that this was other people's stuff. It's not true and it doesn't belong to you. And as you're floating down, I'd like you to drop into that event, seeing what you saw, feeling what you felt. And as you drop into the event, just checking in, is there any emotion?
No.
The belief system, I'm not good enough, is it still there? Or you may find that it's not.
It's not there.
Definitely not there anywhere in your body.
Mm-mm.
Perfect. And then floating back to before this event and well before any other chain of events that led to it, facing towards now. The belief system, I'm not good enough, is it still there? Or you may find that it's gone.
It's gone.
Perfect. And now facing towards now. As you're facing towards now, are there any colors or symbols that represent these new positive learnings?
I just see green trees.
Beautiful. Just allowing these beautiful green trees to wash over your whole timeline, representing that you are good enough, that all of this stuff doesn't even belong to you and that it's not true, that it was placed there well before you were even born and you don't even need to carry that any longer. In fact, it's time for you to break that cycle for your children and any children after that. And as you're floating all the way back to now, noticing at least 3 subsequent events in your lifetime, whereas if you'd had these learnings, you would have responded differently as you're floating all the way back to now. And just keeping your eyes closed. I'd just like you to fast forward a little bit into the future and think about an event that may be coming up or a time where you would normally worry that you're not good enough, and just feel into how that feels and just let me know.
Feel conquered. Like I can conquer it.
Beautiful. You are the conqueror.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Breathe in that feeling. Feel it within every cell of your body. I am good enough, and in fact, even more, you can conquer this. Yeah, feel that strength within your body. You can see it in your face. How does that feel?
Good.
Wonderful. And now floating all the way back to now, bringing all of these learnings with you, dropping back into your body, feeling your feet on the ground, your body in the chair, taking a nice deep breath and opening your eyes when you're ready. Wow, how are you feeling?
Mm.
Bit spacey?
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's going to get you to count from 10 down to 0 out loud.
10,
And
9,
open your eyes. That's it.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Shake it up a little bit. Bring yourself back to now. That's it.
Wow.
Wow. Indeed. Wow. You went through that so fast. You just went straight back to 7 generations. Often people will kind of go back to something in this lifetime, and then they might go back to 3 generations, and then they'll go back. But you just went, you were like so ready for this.
So when you asked how far back, 5 came to me, but then something said 7.
Oh, perfect. I'm so glad you trusted that.
Yeah. And I was like, maybe I should, but I think what made me say 5 is because I was the fifth, I'm the 5th generation. And now my son is the 5th generation. So I've like, there's pictures, and that's crazy. I'm also in my grandmother's house, right? There's pictures of when I was a baby. I think I was maybe a month old. My great grandmother is holding me, and my great great grandmother is in the picture with my mother and my grandmother.
Oh my God. Wow.
So when my son was born, we did that same picture. So with him, me, my mother, my grandmother, and then my my great grandmother. So yeah, yeah.
That's amazing.
So I think that's why my brain initially went to 5, but then something said no, 7, because literally recently I just asked my grandmother if she's met her great grandmother, right? So because I know mine and my son knows. So it was yeah, wow.
Beautiful.
Wow.
All
Yeah.
right. So let's check in. How are you actually feeling?
I feel good. I feel good. I kept seeing trees.
That's fine. Trees are a beautiful symbol of life and growth. So
Yeah.
whatever you see is absolutely perfect. Everyone sees something different. People
Yeah.
sometimes just color or whatever. So I want to ask you, let's just check in and see how this actually worked. I want you to think about a time when you actually really felt like you were not good enough. You don't have to tell me about it. Just think about it.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel when you think about that now?
Like I am a good mother.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Another time when you thought you weren't good enough?
Mm-hmm.
How does that feel?
Good. I was just with the wrong people.
Beautiful. And what can happen, it sounds like that's what's happening, is that you see it from a different lens now.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of blaming yourself or thinking that you did something wrong, you can just recognize that, oh, okay, that's cool. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's not a problem, actually.
Literally. Yeah.
Just
Um,
about learning.
yeah, yeah. And wow, that was interesting. Wow. Wow. Even the moving forward part, right? Going into
The
the
future.
future. Yeah, what that looks like. I always say when like when it comes to even manifestation, right? You have to visualize yourself doing that thing and
Yeah.
visualize the type of person that you are. So this is perfect, right? Because you can't be a person of doubt.
Mm. Yeah. You don't want to doubt yourself.
Yeah. Because that's an energy you end up putting out there.
That's right. And
Yeah.
when you feel very confident in something, you're more likely to take the action steps you need to get there. If you have
Mm-hmm.
doubt, that little niggle is going to say, oh, don't worry about it. Don't do it. Something bad's going to happen. Or it won't work out anyway. And then that's when we sabotage. But when you feel like, yeah, I can do this, I've got this, you'll give it a go. And sure, sometimes it still might not work. I'm not like in some fantasy land. However, if you don't try it, it definitely won't work.
Yeah.
So when you create that confidence, you will actually do whatever it takes to just keep pushing. And it might take a long time, or it might happen really fast. Just
Yeah.
depends on the situation and what it is you're aiming for.
Yeah.
But releasing the I'm not good enough voice
Mm-hmm.
is very important.
Yeah.
So this process is going to keep on working on you now for the next couple of weeks, really. And it'd be really interesting for you just to notice, just be curious about how you feel.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do the process and so releasing anger, and people will come back 3 weeks later and I'll say, oh, yeah, so how's that anger going? And they'll go, oh, well, nothing really happened to make me angry. And I'll just go, yes, it did. You just didn't get angry. Oh. And yeah, people just don't even realize that something's happened because it's quite subtle.
Yeah, it reminded me of Yoga Nidra. Yeah, have you heard of Yoga Nidra?
I've tried it, love it, yes.
Yeah, it reminded me of that practice where it literally goes into the subconscious, and it's such a powerful space when you allow yourself to go in there.
Yeah.
It's healing, it like recalibrates some, like, all of it. One thing I did notice in the timeline therapy, when I was going back to the 7 years, I felt my body, like it was almost like I was pulling all the positive things from all of my ancestors going back into those 7 years.
7 generations,
Yeah, or
yeah.
7 generations. Yes. Yeah.
Wow, it's got chills. It's almost like they were coming with you to get the healing as well and to support you through the process.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Ah, love it. Wow, thanks for sharing that. And you know what? I just want to thank you for being brave to do this. And if you decide to share it with your audience, I think it's a really brave thing to share something like this.
Yeah, yeah. And I'll definitely put your contact info. I'll let you know if I'm gonna share it, which I probably will. But I'll put your contact information in there also, so people know how to tap into you to try it, do it, whatever. I do have a question. So when you're working with your clients, right? How long are you working with them before you do timeline therapy?
Oh, I can do this on the first session.
Okay.
So usually we talk for a good half an hour or so first, really find out where they're at and what's going on. It
Yeah.
depends on the client. So usually I have clients for, like, I book them in for a 7-session sort of package, and because I do the divorce coaching stuff, and I work with them on that. And so I know that I'm going to have them for the 7 sessions, but I don't want to waste any time. So there's so much that we can work on. So if I feel that they're ready to do a timeline process right from the start, or I think it's going to benefit them, then we'll do that.
Yeah.
But some clients, they need the first session or two just to really go through the bigger stuff that's going on for them. Their head is way too busy to calm enough to do the process, and then we'll do it a little bit later. So it's very individual, depends where the person's at.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You are a healer.
Thank you.
You are a healer. You have the inkling for it. You like that discerning spirit for it. You're definitely a healer. Welcome to the Wounded Warriors Club.
I appreciate that. I
Yeah.
really do. That's nice. And part of my own personal struggle, I guess, is accepting that I am a healer, and that's something that I've had to work on, because it sounds a bit like, oh, you're a healer. Who do you think you are? That's what comes up for me around that. I probably need to do a bit of work on that, don't I?
I was gonna say, if I knew how to do the timeline therapy. Yeah, but you definitely are. Just even hearing your process with like the 7 sessions, right? It's like, okay, when it's like, all right, it's time to like just kind of jump on into it. They're ready, but they're not, right? But they've come to you with this expectation of changing something, transformation, all of those things. So for you to be able to say, okay, these first 2 sessions, let's let them empty out what they need to and then get to what it is that they came to me for. That's the gifting of a healer, right? It's not just, okay, we're going to go through these 7 sessions and we're going to let it be what it needs to be, and we're going to no, it's like, no, you have, like, you can tap into, okay, this person is ready to get here, where I can feel this in that person and whatever may come up. So yes, you are a healer.
Thank you.
Yes, of course, of course.
Lovely. It's true. I mean, yeah, some people, I guess, and some coaches have their very rigid program that they need to work to. I never do that. It's part of the reason why I love coaching, because, you know, I feel for me, I have the freedom to work with my clients in the way that they need.
Yeah.
And I don't have to subscribe to some set of standards that, you know, because I'm a psychologist, that the psychology board says I have to do. So coaching is more, I don't know. I get to do timeline therapy and coaching.
It's more free and fluid. It allows you to tap into those gifts that are already within you that feel natural. Yeah,
exactly.
I get that. Yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful. Well, I look forward to hearing how you go. Please let me know. I'd love to hear from you in, you know, a couple of weeks, and just let me know how you're going with your new contract and how your sense of self and what you might notice.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for doing this.
Oh, you're very, very welcome. Oh, and the other thing, if you do notice the little voice come up, I'm not good enough, just acknowledge it. Oh, there it is. Thank you, mind. This isn't generations old thing. I don't need to believe that anymore.
Yeah. I definitely feel something. There's like a washing. Yeah. I'm sitting with it. Today's been a very interesting day, so I'm trying to just sit with it all. And this is definitely adding to the timeline of things today. So yes. So all right, Leanne, thank you so much.
You're very, very welcome. Love it. And
yeah,
talk to you soon.
All right, take care.
Thank you.
And we are back. So I hope y'all enjoyed that. Even listening back to it was interesting, because the green trees, I'm surrounded by green trees right now. So it like everything feels very full circle. I came here and did a lot more healing work. But yeah, timeline therapy, it was so cool. I think it's interesting when we start digging deeper into generational things that have been passed down and around, and realize that certain thoughts and behaviors don't really belong to us, right? They're coming from somewhere else, but they're so strong because they've been manifested into and imprinted into our DNA. So yeah, I hope this blessed y'all. Yeah, I hope this season has blessed y'all. My goal this season was to really tap in deeper to different healing modalities. One that I kind of wanted to do again, but we did it last season, but just from a different angle and perspective, was on Reiki. But you get the gist, you get the point. There's so many more interviews that I wanted to do before I left to come here for the podcast. But they didn't, the timeline didn't really work out for what their schedule and mine. So yeah, we'll definitely get those in the books when I get back to the States. I'm ending this season early because y'all, it was starting to get a little janky on my end. I think the heat is doing something to the electronics and the equipment and stuff. I don't want to have to buy new equipment, but if I need to, I'd love to. So yeah, Yeah, this season was really all about healing modalities, right? And taking ourselves out of this box of just talk therapy, right? So really allowing ourselves to bring the mind and the body and the spirit together in that healing journey and what that looks like. So I hope you all like gained something from this season. Next season, I've already got some ideas and stuff. Next season, actually, well, we're celebrating a year in August. So yes, I've already like I'm hype. I'm excited and I'm proud of myself. And I'm proud of all of you for continuing to stay faithful to listening and learning and gaining more. I hope I'm doing that and really just opening up the gate to, everybody learning something that they may not have learned before, or hearing something that may have resonated different, to make them just more aware. So yes, I'm already ready for season 3. I love doing this. I love doing this. I love you all for free. Talk to you soon.